Hello, guys. Welcome back. This is David. I do hope you're doing well. On to our next one now, interest rate risk management by emerging market economy banks. So on the right-hand side, most of the focus will be on the emerging market economy banks, but we'll have a bit of a contrast as well with advanced economy banks as well. Now, we're talking here about interest rate risk in the banking book, the traditional problem of assets and liabilities, where we borrow some deposits, so we borrow 100 in deposits, going to lend out a good proportion of these, usually on a fixed rate, to earn our margin, our net income or net interest margin. Now, the problem's going to be here. The margin might look healthy, but of course the deposits are floating rates which can rise. So at different times, rates can shoot up pretty quickly, as happened in 2022, 2023. And that can squeeze the margin, even sometimes causing that to go negative. So we've got a real traditional banking problem. You've borrowed 100, you've invested 90, you've kept 10 back, usually in short-term securities for liquidity, fractional reserve banking. Now, the problem of the duration mismatch brings in interest rate risk from our long duration assets, as we know. And you can measure that through duration or dollar value of 1 basis point, BPV. And there's a real mismatch between assets and liabilities. So the reading is suggesting that the advanced economy banks, they can be much more sophisticated, often using hedging to kind of equalize, I suppose, the interest rate risk. If they're a lot more equalized when rates change, the equity is largely stable and preserved. Now, let's move on to looking at the emerging market approach, which is quite different. The emerging market approach isn't going to be using derivatives too much. It's going to use a lot more fixed deposits, time deposits, to extend the duration. So if we're using a lot more longer term deposits, going to kind of more closely match what we're doing in terms of the loans, and the loans also trying to match better in and kind of the underlying structure of the deposits and the loans, reducing the interest rate sensitivity. Also, at times as well, shorter term loans, and at times perhaps using floating rate assets as well that can adjust automatically, can reprice straight away. So what we're saying here is the emerging markets, yes, not having the same fundamental degree of the problem, that they can't afford to, of course, there too. Now, a recent trend mentioned in this reading is that some of the emerging market banks here, they have